know our practice in respect of point of order. I am going to allow you to go ahead. I'm going to recirculate what really is a point of order. Opposition leader, I am sure you appreciate with the discipline that we would like to instill going forward from both sides of the House, that between points of order and what we normally treat as a point, I can actually have this discussion when somebody on the government side rises to their feet. You know, it really doesn't matter who is on their feet. So it has nothing to do with the opposition leader, all right? It is a general statement for us in the parliament. So a lot of what we call point of orders are actually interruptions because of other reasons, clarification, disagreement. Point of order are not to be used in to continue that you continue. It is not the Speaker, opposition leader, it is not the Speaker who gives you the authority to do so. Only on genuine points of order does the Speaker or the Chair gives authority. And for those who are grumbling in the House who refuse to learn, for those grumbling in the House who refuse to learn, I have no challenge because I will continue to apply the rules and the standing orders. So, thanks for your patience, opposition leader. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. Madam Speaker, I rise on a point of order. The Minister has selectively quoted an excerpt from Hansard, which to make a point, which is misleading the House. Those comments that I made were in the context of his own representation to the House, that the necessary financing to fix the problems that the hurricane had caused on the grid was $350 million US. And my point simply was, if it's $350 million US, how are you going to finance that? To draw down on a portion of it, which was inadequate to do the job, was imprudent. That's the point I made, and to put it in any other way is misleading the House.
Clock.
Your mic was not on, Minister. Hold on a moment, Minister.
This is a point of order on which I rise. If the member will yield. Madam Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition rose on a point of order. What is your ruling, Madam Speaker?
Well, you know already, Prime Minister, this is not a point of order.
What order of the House of debate was breached?
No.
If the Leader of the Opposition continues
the House is not a point of order.
The point of order to disrupt debates, Madam Speaker, that is an abuse of the rules of the House. So, Madam Speaker, I ask you to rule on whether or not the point raised by the Leader of the Opposition breached any rules of debate in the House.
No, it does not, Prime Minister. So members who are grumbling prior, the reason I made sure to state this is exactly that. Please read Standing Order 34. Minister, I apologize for breaking your stride in your presentation. Minister, I'm asking you to sit because Minister, I'm asking you to sit. You will get your time. We'll go into that next, Member Campbell, so we can go down that road after. So, Standing Orders 34 speak to interruptions. Interruptions subject to the provision of Standing Orders 26, 38, and 39, which speaks to privilege motion, closure of debate, and previous questions. A member shall not interrupt another member except. And this is the challenge that we have been having. Persons believe that you can interrupt that you can shout chair, 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 and you must be heard. Persons believe that you can speak without your mic being turned off. You are not based on the standing orders, not based on what accords across the Commonwealth. Some members, it says except by raising a point of order, which is what we use, whereupon the member speaking, for those who choose not to listen, respectfully, I am asking you to at least allow those who would like to hear to do so. Subject to the provision, a member shall not interrupt another member except by rising to a point of order, whereupon the member speaking shall resume his seat, and the member interrupting shall simply direct attention to the point of order which he desires to bring to notice. No, what we do, we actually make a statement that the person mislead, and then we go and have a debate about what they have misrepresented. That has been our practice. So it's not what was done by our opposition leader. Members, could I finish? To the point which he desires to bring to notice and submit it to the Speaker or Chair for a decision or breach of rules. Now, another interruption can be done. It is not a point of order. This interruption is to elucidate some matter raised by the member in the course of a speech. Elucidate, which is, if you're asking, could you explain because I'm not understanding? But only if the member, for those on the opposition benches who refuse to listen, I hope it is appreciated when the standing orders are followed, that it is the standing orders that rule the House. So if you do not understand the rules, I will not continue to argue. Members, to elucidate some matter raised by that member in the course of his speech, but only if the member speaking is willing to yield. So our practice of just point of order, and then we use it as a mechanism to break the stride of someone speaking, to have them divert from their presentation to give a long soliloquy teaching. It is not supposed to be done by any side. No problem. So until we learn what is a point of order, and you think it is actually very sweet to continue what you are doing, you will know it was not a point of order, and we will get there. Minister, I'm going to give the extra time, Minister, and we continue. No. That was the statement made before. Turn your mic on, please, Minister.
Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm happy to know that I'll get back the time. And I want to say, Madam Speaker, that I invite every member here to look at Hansard in relation to that particular day and that particular speech. And what you will get from it is the fact that the $150 million that this government dispersed to JPS through a loan would never have been done if that side was where we are today in government. Absolutely not. And without fear of contradiction. And to add to that what I just said a while ago, is that what would have really happened is that you would not get restoration until the end of this year into 2027, and it's not me say so, it's JPS who has said so. So again, Madam Speaker, I say that good decision was made by the cabinet of the country. Madam Speaker, other
time to explain how point of orders work. Let me again make a formal ruling. A formal ruling. My ruling is no point of order was raised by the leader of the opposition. No point of order was raised by the leader of the opposition. No rule of the House was broken. Now, because we keep having this discussion, and I would like to give the opposition as much latitude as is possible, since we continue to abuse and refuse to obey what is a point of order, I will ask the member to approach the bench so that I can understand what it is that he's being, yes, very much so, which the standing orders permit.
Honestly, there are so many new persons in the House who could benefit from what the Speaker is saying about different things. And we don't want to listen, we don't want to hear. I don't know everything in the book, you know. I don't know everything in the book and how we've been practicing certain things. It's wrong. At least let me hear. You just come. I would like to hear what she's saying. You just come. Make me hear. Make me